Good afternoon, participants. It's again a privilege and pleasure to be interacting with you and being a resource person in this very important and prestigious study development program being organized by Litter Chandigarh. Now, this afternoon session is devoted to outcome-based curriculum design and Bloom taxonomy. How Bloom taxonomy contribute to the design of the preparation of the outcome-based curriculum. Now, here the takeaway of this session will be, we shall be talking about what is curriculum and its components. Please remember, curriculum is not, syllabus is not the curriculum. Syllabus is only one of the components of curriculum, outcome-based curriculum. Since NBA, AICT, and NEP, they are implementing outcome-based education across all the disciplines. So how to prepare curriculum which follows the rules of outcome-based system, that is outcome-based curriculum, design of outcome-based curriculum, and Bloom taxonomy. How to prepare outcome-based curriculum of good quality which meets the requirements of outcome-based education system. Then what are graduate attributes and program outcomes? How do they contribute to the preparation of curriculum? Then curriculum implementation and technique strategies. Now, please, I have a request to make here. I would like this session to be fairly interactive. I know it's difficult to interact very much on the in the online mode, but still, I would welcome your questions. Maybe in between when I pose the question, or you can pose the questions and I can answer it whenever it's like. Now, see, what is outcome-based teaching, learning, and curriculum? See, traditionally, teaching is regarded as a process of imparting knowledge to students. Teaching and other education activities are based on the question of what topics to teach and to what depth. This is what we have been trained. This is what we have been doing. That means what are the topics to be taught, what is the length and breadth of the topic to be covered, and so on. Now, in outcome-based teaching, learning, and curriculum, teaching, learning methodology or system, the shift is to the question of what knowledge and abilities students should acquire and demonstrate on completion of the curriculum, on completion of the course. Now, please appreciate the difference. It's not that I'm only teaching it, I am teaching and then ascertaining that whatever knowledge and abilities I wanted students to acquire, they are demonstrating that. So outcome-based curriculum is based on outcome-based education principles, which is student-centric, and is preparing according to the outcome-based education framework while intended learning outcome. Thus signifying that we first decide beforehand what the student should learn. What should be the contents on which he should be focusing, and then after completing those, he should be proving that he has learned it. So that's what is like this. So if we just to recall quickly, elements of outcome-based education framework. What is outcome-based education framework? Now quickly, see, in education framework, we say what we have to say what the student should achieve. The outcome-based curriculum. How to make the student achieve the outcomes. Then what they should be, what they are expected to gain as a knowledge, as a skill, and so on. Then what should be the teaching learning methodologies so that student is able to demonstrate what he has learned. Then how to measure what he has done. Very important component of outcome-based education system is the measurement of student learning. How to measure what a student has learned, what he has learned, whether he is able to demonstrate that or not. Now then the assessment method that we use in outcome-based education system is relevant to what we want to measure. For example, outcome is not same as output. Outcome is knowledge, skill, attitude, and behavior. That's what students should acquire and demonstrate. When I have to assess this thing, then I have to assess not only knowledge, but also his skill, his attitude, behavior, competency. These are to be assessed. Now, competency cannot be assessed with examination alone. Examination, we are able to assess only the knowledge. So then what the student cannot achieve, what the student cannot achieve the outcomes. Why the student is not able to do it? That means it's a responsibility of the faculty, it's a responsibility of the teacher to find out why the student is not able to demonstrate what he is expected to learn and come out with that, which means ensuring the quality is a important component. Now, if we are not able to look into the improvement of the student, then we have to look at the curriculum. Why my curriculum is not designed in such a way that student gains and learns what I want him to learn. That means curriculum is a very important component of the outcome-based education framework. Now, what is the curriculum? Now, we generally, I would say all the time, generally we take curriculum as a syllabus only. No. Curriculum refers to academic content, processes, and practices. Processes mean teaching methodologies, practices, assessment methodologies, analysis, evaluation, all those things, they're part of the curriculum. So curriculum refers to academic content, processes, and practices by which students learn, gain knowledge, and develop skills. It involves syllabus, co-curricular activities, extracurricular activities, etc., which are required for developing the full potential of the students. So curriculum helps to specify what are the standards and contents the student should be made to learn, and what are the resources and facility to implement that. Then what should be the instructional methods, what should be assessment method, and then the evidence that we are improving. Kindly appreciate outcome-based curriculum is a very important, a very important issue to be understood in the context of our outcome-based education system. Now, so in the outcome-based education system, we decide beforehand what should be the learning outcome of the student. That means if it is certificate course, what level, diploma course, what level, if it is degree course, what level, and so on. That means intended learning outcomes we decide beforehand. Once we have decided them, then learning and teaching activities are designed to meet them. Assessment methods and learning outcomes, they are implemented in such a way so that what we wanted the students to learn, they are able to learn and demonstrate. Please appreciate this thing. That means it is responsibility of the faculty plus institute to see to it what is the level, standards, and of the learning of the student. No doubt it will depend upon the level, but this is what the outcome-based education system says. There are constraints. We are aware of that, but the system says that you are to achieve these goals. And see, in the traditional model, we say prepare the curriculum to be taught, teach the course, assess what students have via examination, presentation, etc. That means curriculum is content focused, which means the content is the knowledge. Now, when I say knowledge, we also put cognitive emphasis. But in the outcome-based model, we beforehand decide what is the intended course objectives and learning outcomes of the student. Ensure these learning outcomes are implemented and accessible. Determine what education activities will help students to attain these outcomes. That means we have to decide the teaching method, we have to decide the assessment method, so that we are able to bring out the best learning of the student. Provide resources, support, and feedback to the student as they are doing learning activity. Assess students, have they attained the course outcome? Is there improvement? Evaluate and review outcomes and modify teaching and assessment as appropriate. That is, the curriculum is assessment focus, outcome focus. So content focus and outcome focus. As I mentioned earlier, outcome involves knowledge, outcome involves skill, outcome involves attitude, behavior, and so on. So kindly appreciate these things that in the context of outcome-based curriculum, we have to ensure that these things are met. Then, see, in the traditional curriculum, the main focus is on knowledge. But in the outcome-based curriculum, what we also call as integrated holistic learning of the student, the focus is the student gains the knowledge, he develops skill, develops attitude, and behavior. So this is very important. Now, when I design the curriculum according to the outcome-based education, then it should have program aims, program learning outcomes, course learning outcomes, and performance indicators. What it means is, see, we beforehand decide, as I'll demonstrate later on also, the programs. What are the program is a, let's say, certificate is a program, diploma is a program, PhD is a program. So the curriculum that is designed in outcome-based system is what are the program learning outcomes? What are its objectives? Outcome driven, where every stated objective outcomes can be assessed and evaluated. Whatever we say can be assessed. It is centered around the needs of the student and the stakeholders. A stakeholders mean their employers, industry, parents, institution. So when I say the curriculum is such that it is centered, it meets the requirements and needs of the stakeholder, that means student should be a successful, holistically developed individual when he comes out of any program, etc. So every learning outcome is intentional. As I mentioned earlier, we decide what is the learning of students. Now, see, you must have been exposed to this thing. Program objectives, which are the students, what are they going to learn in 3 to 4 years? Program outcomes, which kinds of abilities to be attained by students before they graduate? Program outcomes address knowledge, skills, and abilities. Teaching learning methodologies may have to be integrated to include different delivery methods, for example, project-based learning, lectures, or projects, Viva OC, all those things all become part of this. So factors which influence design of curriculum are student psychology, student preparation, student aspirations. What kind of students we are preparing for? Social factors, expectations of parents, societal hopes, economic factors, education and training of students, faculty expenses, industry growth. For example, we can't have a curriculum where labs, let us say, are very expensive. We can't afford that, and there may not be need in the industry. So technological factor, technological tools for better learning and global competition. Environmental factor, issues such as pollution and sustainability. What kind of engineering program should it? Should it not address the issues of sustainability? Should it not address the issues of pollution? So government factor, government policy and funding. The NEP 2020, both private and government institutions rely on funding, expectations of return by government taxpayer. So please appreciate that these are the factors which any institution has to keep in mind for designing the curriculum of the various programs that it has. As I mentioned earlier, programs can be at the level of certificate, they can be at the level of diploma and so on. But then how do we take care of these factors? These factors are encapsulated and expressed as graduate attributes, which help to design the curriculum. Now, if it's in simple terms, the expectations of the stakeholders are expressed as graduate attributes, and graduate attributes further lead us to design of the curriculum. Now, when I say curriculum framework, it means structure, strategy, and guideline to develop educational related practices to enable students gain knowledge, imbibe skill, ignite thinking process. Simply imparting knowledge is not adequate. Simply training the students to become, let us say, a good human being is not adequate. They are important, but igniting their thinking processes, igniting their thinking skills become so that they become independent. They are independent contributors to the society in the form of entrepreneurs and so on, and are able to face challenges in life. Kindly see these things because we have to look at into it how they are incorporated in the curriculum. So every curriculum which we think of should have, we should specify aims and objectives, contents and subject matter, methods of implementation, assessment and evaluation, improvement mechanism, co-curricular and extracurricular activity, standards of resources required implementation, policies, process, and practice. Kindly see that in this mode, all the stakeholders are involved to design to prepare the curriculum. Now, when the curriculum design should be such that it incorporates different types of student learning. See, student learning is not only cognitive. Student learning is cognitive means which deals with mental processes like remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. These are knowledge-based, knowledge-oriented learning. Please remember, effective learning emphasizes feeling. We as human beings have feeling. Students have feeling, emotions, attitudes, and values. Psychomotor learning. Now, for example, being a good person, being a person who has empathy, maybe for the neighbors, maybe for the friends. So these are the issues which are concern effective learning. So we not only want to make a student a bright student as far as subject is concerned, we want to make him as a good human being also. That is what is called effective learning. In effective learning, student learns how to obey the teachers, when to obey the teacher, how to help the classmates, how to carry out values like honesty or ethics and so on. So, and the psychomotor learning involves some form of physical activity and coordination with the brain and the muscle. Now, please see here, you also know that the human beings have different aptitude skills for different games. A person may be good in hockey, he may not be good in cricket. Now, in psychomotor learning stage, when physical and mental processes are coordinating, that means it involves manual abilities. Now, so while doing the lab, you know that if a student working in the lab, he may have to manage equipment, he may have to, he may have to look at maybe alignment, maybe focusing, maybe when he is adjusting the various. So that means mental and physical processes are involved in the physical activity and coordination with the brain. So curriculum design which we have should take into consideration how to develop these three formats of student learning. That means knowledge, his emotions, and his physical abilities. So the curriculum should focus on these things also. The subject that the curriculum that we look at may be subject-centered curriculum design. That means subject-centered curriculum design means revolves around a particular subject, matter, or discipline. For example, subject-centered curriculum may focus on math or biology, or maybe only environment. This type of curriculum design tend to focus on subject rather than the individual. Is the we say MA mathematics. So focus on the mathematics. Student-centered curriculum design. Student-centered curriculum design takes individual needs, interests, and goals into consideration. That is, it acknowledges that students are not uniform, adjust to those student needs. That means there may be mixed students. The curriculum that is prepared is such that it addresses the needs of a mixed student. That means there are certain bright students, there are certain weak students, and so on. Student-centered curriculum design is meant to empower learners and allow them to shape their education through choices. What kind of courses they want? That means flexibility. And look, NEP does all this. In NEP, we have NEP curriculum prepared according to NEP offers a lot of flexibility to the student to choose the subjects of their choice. That is the student-centered curriculum that is prepared according to this is a student-centered. The traditional curriculum we have been prepared has been mainly a subject-centered curriculum. Then problem-centered curriculum. See, curriculum may deliver curriculum maybe through lectures, through the projects, the problems, and many internships and so on, many factors. See, problem-centered curriculum means the curriculum has a lot of emphasis on solving real-life problems. Like learner, it is not mainly textbook oriented, right? Like learner-centered curriculum design, problem-centered curriculum design is also a form of student-centered design. Here, there are real-life problems. Their problem may be for 1 week, maybe for 2 weeks, and so on. Problem-centered curriculum focuses on teaching students how to look at a problem and come up with a solution to the problem. Students are exposed to real-life issues, which helps them to develop skills that are transferable to the real world. Problem-centered curriculum design increases the relevance of the curriculum and allows students to be creative and innovative as they are learning. Please see here. So when I say problem, then it is not purely a textbook-oriented curriculum, as has been the, for example, the subject-centered curriculum, or as we have been doing it. Now, so outcome-based curriculum design, it means we decide what are the graduate attributes. Outcome-based curriculum design looks at the graduate attributes and intended program outcome, teaching and learning methods, coding, card assessment techniques, evaluation, and so on. So outcome-based curriculum design, which we are talking about, is similar to student-centered based on the principles of outcome-based framework. Now see what is the graduate attribute. Now issue is, I have to design the curriculum. Curriculum is to be designed keeping in mind what kind of students we want to train, educate, prepare. Let us say we want our students to be, let us say, entrepreneurs. We want our students to be good engineers, autonomous, and so on. So these things are expressed in the form of graduate attributes. The attributes are the abilities, knowledge, and skills that students should develop as a result of the education and learning on a completed program of study. Program of study, as I mentioned earlier, you have come up the BTech, diploma, certificate, and so on. GA also represents broad quality that are necessary for students to contribute meaningfully to the society and country. Now, please here, NEP emphasizes the training of students should be such, that the curriculum design should be such. Now, how we decide as to what students are expected to learn, demonstrate, and achieve in life, then we specify graduate attributes. Graduate attributes are the qualities of the students as regard their ability of knowledge, skill, attitude, and behavior. The GA may be specified as science graduates, engineering graduates, medical graduates, arts graduates, pharmacy graduates, and so on. See, when I say pharmacy graduates, the expectations of pharmacy graduate by the industry are of different type than the expectations of industry from engineering graduate. The science graduate expectations are different. How do I indicate what to emphasize for a science graduates, what to emphasize for an engineering graduate, and so on. So there will be overlap, no doubt, but there will be streams along these various disciplines. So GA, graduate attributes, help to specify outcomes and achievements that we expect our students to acquire. Now, just to help you understand how to arrive at a graduate attribute, how to decide a graduate attributes. Now, please see here. What does the industry and society want from our students? Kindly appreciate. I want to decide the graduate attributes of any program. Now, let us understand what the industry wants, what kind of employment that particular program is going to get. So we say this is article of industry and society says, for example, the illustration, let us say for engineers. They say students will have good employability opportunities if they have these skills like employability skills, analytic and critical thinkers, creative and innovative designers, problem solvers, good communicators, self-motivated, aware of what's going on in the world, effective team player, and so on. Kindly look at this slide and look on the left component. You will see a student having these attributes, skills, is easily accepted by the industry. Now, how I have to embed these things, how I have to transform these skills into the classroom, how I have to ensure effective teaching for his being effective collaborator. To kindly see these, what the industry needs, we express them as graduate attributes. That means the graduate attributes will have what is given in this slide on the right hand side: good knowledge of discipline, innovation and problem solver, design and development of solutions, and so on. Individual and teamwork, communication, and lifelong learning. Now, please see here, I repeat, what the industry wants, what the employability skills, I am expressing them as graduate attributes of the student. And then my curriculum will be, these graduate attributes will help me to design the curriculum. So when I design the curriculum, I am using what the industry wanted. So that I'm embedding it. So we say knowledge contents, societal requirements, industry needs, global necessities, and social needs, etc. They are expressed as graduate attributes. Now, these attributes OBE helps to achieve the goals. But the issue is, how do I bring up teaching of these or making students learn these things in the classroom? So we say societal requirements, industry needs, employability skills are summed up in their attribute, which are then realized via outcome-based education approach. Now, just give me an example. You are all familiar with NBA, or I'll just simply say, National Board Accreditation has specified certain qualities that our engineering students should meet. And remember, you will recall, these are what Washington Accord and ABIT has specified. Now, there are 12 graduate attributes concerning engineer. I'm going to take example of engineer. Engineering discipline, then problem solving, then ability for design and development of solutions, conducting investigating complex problem, modern tool using. Now, please see here, NBA specified 12 of these. Out of these 12, 5 are technical. First 5 are technical. Next 6 to 12 are non-technical. 6 and 7, that is group 2, they consist society and environment. That means we should train our engineer, educate our engineer which care for the society, which care for the environment, and so on. Then 3, that is ethics, individual teams, group 3, communication, lifelong learning, project management and finance have commonality. For example, time management, finance management. These are which concern the individual engineer. Now kindly see what we want our engineer to be. I have just expressed them as graduate attributes. I have tried to ensure that they have good technical knowledge. They should be good human beings. They should be caring about the social and societal needs and so on. Kindly see these things. These graduate attributes I will use to design my curriculum. Kindly see that. I'm not designing curriculum without any reasons. So my curriculum based on these graduate attributes will provide me the lead what kind of curriculum I want. So similarly, for example, NBA specified for BTech are the 12 graduate attributes. In fact, now they have modified it to 11. And then for NBA graduate diploma, diploma is for 3 years. They have specified only 7 graduate attributes. So education programs are designed to achieve graduate attributes by expressing them as program outcome, as POs can be assessed, measured, and achieved. Now the issue is the curriculum should be such that whatever it helps us to implement can be measured, because that is the basic rule of outcome-based education system. Now, these graduate attributes are, we see here, basic knowledge and specific knowledge. What does it mean? Problem analysis. Let us expand them. Let us express them, what is expected out of them. So we have program outcomes designed from graduate attributes. I'll just give you quickly how it is done. So we say curriculum design will be carried out by graduate attributes where there is a knowledge, skill, and attitude. Then this what kind of it is, teaching learning method, resources, for purpose of the program. So these will help us to prepare the curriculum. Kindly appreciate these things. The curriculum, by our traditional understanding, is a syllabus. No, it is a curriculum. Is a curriculum is something which involves to enable the student to do what we want him to be. So when I say our curriculum is prepared from the graduate attributes and program outcomes, then it is highlighting what sort of engineer do we want? What sort of engineer do we want? How will we address demands from external stakeholders and agencies? What outcomes and content should we include? What teaching and learning methodology should we use? How will we assess learners? How should we carry out evaluation and demonstrate continuous improvement in learning? So the point is, when curriculum which meets these requirements can be prepared when based on the graduate attributes. So graduate attributes are predefined. Remember, because I repeat, we took the graduate attributes from the industry or stakeholders requirements. We prepared the graduate attributes. Now, graduate attributes will help us to prepare the program outcome, which I'll just demonstrate after a few seconds. So, predefined graduate attributes and the intended program outcomes, they provide lead to the relevant curriculum design. So, curriculum is not prepared with, ad hoc. It is prepared with a goal, and that goal is defined by the program outcomes. So we have graduate attributes educational curriculum. Graduate attributes, they help us what are the objectives of the program, what are the program outcomes, then the program, as I mentioned, is certificate, or a diploma or a degree is a program. Program have courses. So course design and learning outcome, assessment task, assessment criteria, they are prepared keeping in view what are our intended student learnings. So POs are intended outcome of the program. They guide to design the curriculum. So grade attributes have intellectual, professional, personal, society need expressed as their attributes. So program outcome, they help us curriculum design, syllabus, etc. Then course design, how to design it, and so on. Please appreciate this art structure of curriculum design. So when you are preparing it, or when you're involved in this, we need to apply our attention to this. Now, when I say this is what we had, now kindly see here, the graduate attributes help us define the program outcomes. Program outcomes are statements which express what a student is expected to learn and demonstrate on completing program. Set of program outcomes which are common across set of programs, for diploma in civil engineering, mechanical engineering, are referred to as generic program outcomes or simply program outcomes. Program specific outcomes are the outcome relevant to specific program. I'm not emphasizing this because what I want you to appreciate is that the program outcomes are prepared keeping in view what are the graduate attributes we have, and these program outcomes, they help us to prepare the curriculum. Now, the program outcome, for example, they can be. Now, here I want to bring out how do I achieve these things? How do I make a curriculum which is imparting knowledge to the student, which is imparting skill to the student, which is imparting, which is trying to develop the emotions, value system of the student, which is helping the student to acquire manual skills. Now, please see, when I write a program outcome, let us say I take BTech, engineering program. Now, if say apply the knowledge of mathematics, science, engineering fundamentals, and an engineering specialization for solving complex engineering problems. When I'm writing this, at the back of mind, I have many things. You see the word apply and complex. They come from Bloom taxonomy. Bloom taxonomy says human learning can be divided into three domains: cognitive domain, affective domain, and psychomotor domain. See, when I'm saying affective domain, that means I'm addressing the value system. I'm like ethics. I'm addressing the emotions, like helping each other, caring each other. These things are expressed in the format of program outcome using Bloom taxonomy. Please appreciate this thing. Now, when a student is exposed to these things, then we expect our teaching methods, assessment methods, where these things are imparted and assessed to the students. Kindly see this thing. Now, engineering knowledge, let us say if we look at PO1, here what is involved is skill, analytical skills, innovative and creative thinking, a lateral mindset, adaptability and flexibility, teamwork. So this program outcome is conveying that when this program outcome is fulfilled, then student will be learning these skills. Now, when I design my curriculum, I will see to it that these skills are the curriculum based on this or syllabus based on this program outcome will enable me to address the issues of what kind of skills students will acquire and what kind of knowledge students will acquire, what kind of human being we are expecting. So please see here. Now just look at this. See, when I say complex problems, you will see that there are simple problems. The textbook में generally होती हैं. There are difficult problems. There are intricate problems. There are complex problems. When I'm saying complex problem, please I repeat, this is a discussion of BTech. We can have similarly for MBA, for MPhil, for MBA, for diploma, for law, and so on. So this I'm taking because this gives you an idea of generic idea as to designing the program outcome. Now, when I say complex problem, what does it mean? Complex is not a, in this context, complex problem is not a difficult problem. It implies different. Its definition has been given in the Washington Accord. The range of problem solving is required by the program outcome. Engineering problem cannot be resolved without in-depth engineering knowledge and has some or all of the following characteristics below. That means they are not textbook problems. They are real-life problems. They have technical component, they have engineering component, they don't have an obvious solution. They involve a lot of thinking. So when I say complex problem, the curriculum that I'm taking should involve solving complex problems. How do I do that? That means I must understand myself. What is a complex problem? So once I understand a complex problem, then I make it a part of my curriculum. So has significant consequence in a range of context. High-level problem, including many components, for example, Internet of Things, blockchain, labor dispute, high-rise buildings, drones, etc. They involve complex problems. They are real-life problems. Curriculum need to incorporate components which prepares and trains students in solving complex problems. So now, problem analysis. Students should be able to identify, formulate. Our curriculum should be such. Our teaching learning should be such that they are able to do all these things, identify, formulate, research, literature, analyze complex engineering problems, reaching substantial, and so on. Now, please see here. I want my student to be a good problem solver. How can I do that? Which means the contents of my curriculum should be such which meet these requirements. And remember, PO is a intended program outcome. I had defined that. So my curriculum should meet these things. Now, when this program outcome is specified, it emphasizes the creativity, analytical abilities, communication, decision making, teamwork. So here we find similarly problem solving. We always ask our student to solve problems. But are the students solving real problems or mere exercises? Real problem solving stresses critical thinking and decision making skills, whereas the mere exercises require only the application of previously learned procedures. Real problem solving is the process of applying a method not known in advance to a problem that is subject to a specific set of conditions and that the problem solving has not seen before in order to obtain a satisfactory solution. Now, please appreciate here. Complex problem, our curriculum should be such that student develops the ability to solve complex problems, not merely textbook exercise. And in the context of the present discussion, the first 5 program outcomes, they involve complex problems, an important element of program outcomes. Please appreciate complex engineering problem occur in PO1 to PO5. Now see here, another thing which I want you to appreciate is the following. So we said there is a program outcome which concerns the society, which means I had decided myself as a teacher or as a faculty that student should be able to apply the knowledge that he has learned in the class, in the institute, to the problems which are relevant for the society and so on. Which means the curriculum that I will prepare will have that kind of subject, will have that kind of component. So it involves being able to understand and apply the relevant engineering professional knowledge to the context of environment, health, and safety. That means it is embedded into the curriculum. Similarly, He should demonstrate and understand legal and cultural issues and standard and abide by them in engineering practices, assessing impact of engineering practice. Now here, what are skills is gaining? Effective technical skill, ability to work under pressure, problem solving, creativity, interpersonal, verbal and written communication, commercial awareness, and teamwork. Now, please appreciate, in order to implement this program outcome, students should develop these skills. And my curriculum should embed these things into environment sustainability. Now, another thing I want to discuss with you is, see, when I say lifelong learning, it is one of the program outcomes. That means the curriculum should be such the student is trained whose mindset is prepared to become a lifelong learner. What does it mean? That means recognize the need for and have the preparation and ability to engage in independent and lifelong learning in the broader context of technological age. Now see that the way technology is changing, the way internet is contributing to the massive changes in all the disciplines. The AI, the way AI is transforming medical education, pharmaceutical education, engineering education. Now, this is a technological change. Now, when I say lifelong, we don't teach the student can't be taught teach these things all the lifelong. Now, the student should be trained in such a way so that his mindset is equipped to be a self-learner all his life. Now, this attribute must be built into the curriculum. A curriculum which does not focus these things means that we are not trying to fulfill this program outcome. I repeat, program outcomes have been prepared. I repeat for the sake of clarity. Program outcomes have been prepared keeping in mind the stakeholder need. Stakeholder program outcomes help us to define beforehand intended learning outcome, what is the level of the student as regard is learning in knowledge, skill, attitude, and behavior. Now, what kind of human being we are training, though our curriculum should be designed for. Now, I repeat, the program outcome which I am sharing it with you, they become the basis of design of the curriculum. Now remember, curriculum is again not merely syllabus. Curriculum is implementation. That means lectures, is assessment, and so on. So these attributes which I have mentioned here, they get implemented with the student through the curriculum in the classroom and so on. So what does lifelong learning mean? Many times, many teachers ask us, what does lifelong learning signifies? How do I ensure lifelong learning? So lifelong learning refers to learning which occurs throughout the life. Activities for developing and enhancing lifelong learning skills, that means inculcating positive attitude toward learning, reading, writing, speaking and listening, research and doing independent learning, study skills and learning strategies, higher order thinking skills, and thinking about thinking, metacognition. Now, please see here. I want my students to develop this kind of attitude. कैसे करेंगे? क्लासरूम में कभी होगा when we expose our student, when we train our students, when we assess our students, keeping in mind these issues in our before us. And how do we do that? Through lectures, through curriculum, through syllabus. So the curriculum that we design, the assignment that I give should have these aspects. So extensive studies indicate that in this 21st century, those individuals who do not practice lifelong learning will not find work. Those organizations that do not become learning organizations will not survive. Please appreciate these things. My curriculum should have. Now, when I say again, I repeat, my curriculum doesn't mean syllabus. My implementation of the curriculum syllabus should be such that it imbibes the habit of lifelong learning in the student. And we has come out with a new revised SAR and program outcomes. Now there are 11. The one I have taken, they are because they are what has been practiced. So they are 12, doesn't matter. See, the issue is simple. When I prepare the curriculum, then my curriculum should meet these 11 POs for BTech program. Why should you do that? I'm repeating. You do it because I want the student to acquire certain skills. My assignment should be such, my assessment should be such that those PO program outcomes are met. The curriculum, we see this close link. In fact, the curriculum is dependent on the program outcome. And remember, curriculum is syllabus, lecture delivery, assessment, and continuous improvement. That is the basis of outcome-based curriculum. See, once they get the full feedback, then they will implement that SAR. At present, it is being, they have sent it to selected people for their feedback, and then they will do. At present, they have not specified any time frame. But you're right, it's under revision, and in place of 12 POs, they are now made 11 POs. Any question, please? Very good. Very good question, Anurag. Innovative teaching methods. Now, for example, let us look at this. Suppose you want your student to be a good problem solver, or you want to see to it that your student is a good team player. Maybe standard, you give a project with 2-3 students are going together. But the important thing will be how will you assess the quality of being a good team player? In order to assess the characteristics of being a good team player, you need assessment method, which is not a traditional method. The method is rubric, through rubrics. How do I embed the critical thinking? How I make the student's mind as a growth mindset? There is no rule to measure this, but there are empirical mechanisms like a rubrics. Rubric is assessment tool which enable us to do all these things. Now, in fact, maybe you will have a separate session on this, but otherwise, the moment I say rubric, I am looking at assessment. Assessment is a part of curriculum. So when you are preparing a curriculum, then in the curriculum, you have to keep in mind that my emphasis on higher order thinking skills. And higher order thinking skills mean my assessment, these are my assessment methods. We have to use those methods, otherwise no one will believe them. We can test the knowledge by examination, but assessing intangible skills like thinking skills, or being a team player, or being a entrepreneurial mindset, or a growth mindset, these cannot be made by any examination. We need to have developed separate assessment method. That's a part of the curriculum. Remember, I'm repeating, the reason I'm repeating, most of the time, our faculty thinks curriculum means syllabus. No, curriculum means many things. Now, employability skills and graduate attributes. Now, employability skills, I will repeat again, employability skill industry wants, or we ourselves want, that we have a good knowledge of the discipline. Whatever we are engineer or a pharmacist or a management, we should be problem solver. Life में problem change आती रहती है, नए issues आते हैं. They are not textbook oriented. Human being has to live in this society. That means he should be a affectionate, good human being. इस तरह से he should be a thinker, good critical thinker. He should be a good communicator. and so on. You all agree with this? If that is so, how can I implement them in the classroom? ये चीजें क्लासरूम में कैसे आ सकती हैं, पढ़ाई में कैसे आएंगी? How can I bring these abilities which I want a student to be gained in the classroom teaching? Now, in the classroom teaching means I write them as graduate attributes. ग्रेजुएट एट्रीब्यूट में जो इस प्रोग्राम में से ग्रेजुएशन करके जाएगा, यहाँ से ग्रेजुएट एट्रीब्यूट के जो वर्ड है ना, ये अमेरिकन टर्मिनोलॉजी में आता है. ए सर्टिफिकेट इज आल्सो ग्रेजुएट एट्रीब्यूट, डिप्लोमा इज आल्सो ग्रेजुएट. नाउ टर्मिनल डिग्री इज अ ग्रेजुएट. नाउ इन द टर्मिनल डिग्री, मैं illustration में से बीटेक 4 year 4 year program. Let's take this for illustration. Now, in that case, those requirements of the in society, we express them as good knowledge, good human being, ethics, sustainability. जो मैंने आपको दिया था ना एक slide, I showed you one slide. Employability skills, industry wants, problem solver. ये क्लास में कैसे पढ़ाएंगे? Industry wants growth and entrepreneurial mindset people. क्लास में कैसे पढ़ाएंगे? तो we express them as graduate teachers. ये जो मैंने आपको लेफ्ट हैंड, आप जो राइट हैंड साइड पे देख रहे हैं कंपोनेंट, दिस इंडिकेट्स it is encompasses what employability skills are. मैंने जानबूझ के आपको एक्सप्लेन किया है each of these with a view कि उसमें ये जो जितने employability skills हैं, they are built into that. Great attributes हैं. This is what we have decided. Modern tool usage, it indicates what? Internet tools. वो नई चीजें, ये generic, these are generic words. The internet tools are changing, lab tools are changing, manufacturing tools are changing, so forth, right? तो हमने इसको ऐसे लिख दिया. We have written this with a view to be able to express them, which is measurable. Please remember, program outcomes are measurable. Measurable means we can improve them. We can improve them means I can look at my curriculum whether it is meeting those program outcomes, hence the graduate attribute and hence the industry requirements. How we transform the industry requirements into the classroom. Graduate attributes help us to bring the industry requirements in the classroom format. Graduate attributes are not measurable. Graduate में सिर्फ कहने के लिए है भी, he should be able to use a modern tool usage. अब मैं आपको एक उस पे लेके चलता हूँ. Look at this modern tool usage. देखिए which are skills involved here. So I am writing the program outcomes corresponding to this attribute: create, select, and apply appropriate techniques, resources, and modern engineering and IT tools, including prediction and modeling to complex engineering activities, with an understanding of the limitations. आप इसकी एक वर्ड को आप देखेंगे, it involves many things. Create, select, ये आपने कहेंगे ये आया कहाँ से? ये ब्लूम टैक्सोनॉमी से आया. ये we have not discussed the design of the learning outcome. ये ब्लूम जितने कलर किए हुए हैं ब्लूम टैक्सोनॉमी वर्ड, ये वहां से आया है. अच्छा, now this program outcome demonstrate that student will prove the ability. He should be able to identify, explain the use of discipline-specific techniques, skills and tools, understand, evaluate, deploy area-specific software packages, ability to use computer tools, and so on. जब उसको ये ability demonstrate करता है, उसने कौन-कौन से skill learn कर लिए? Please see here. ये I'm not sure how, but your exposure to outcome. Now see, when the student learned these things, what kind of skills he has developed. He has developed this skill of technology and programming. He has developed the skill of innovation and creativity, learning from failure, design thinking, system and modeling thinking. आप कहेंगे सर ये कैसे पता लगा? ये मेरे जो मैं असाइनमेंट दूंगा, जो मेरे सब्जेक्ट कोर्सेज होंगे, जो उसमें असाइनमेंट होंगी, they will be focusing on these. Those assignments will be assessed in such a way that these students demonstrate these skills. When he demonstrates these skills, he is fulfilling those graduate attributes. He is fulfilling what the industry wants. Is that right, sir? Does it satisfy you or not? ये बिल्कुल, this is a loop that is satisfied. Now see how the industry is brought into the classroom teaching. So ultimately, also curriculum POs will be used to design the curriculum. Then I implement the curriculum. Then I bring in all those things. This is why I have discussed these things with you. I want to give you a lifelong, learning that to design a curriculum which meets how it comes. But the origin of this. अच्छा, communication जो हम करते हैं, communication है, use the technology concept comfortably, discuss the problem of different levels, determine what factors are relevant to the situation, argue or against conceptual ideas and solutions, develop ideas through discussion and collaborative sketching, explain technical matter to different audiences, show confidence expressing oneself within the field. Communication is not that simple कि मैं सिर्फ अच्छा लेटर लिख सकता हूँ. Communication not that I can send us email. Communication is to satisfy those individuals, those stakeholders with whom you are interacting. You may be interacting with a layman, you may be interacting with a highly technical person, you may be required to prepare a presentation, you may be required to prepare a documentation, and so on. ये चीजें कहाँ सीखेगा? वो क्लासरूम में सीखेगा. क्लासरूम में कैसे सीखेगा? जब उसका करिकुलम में ये चीजें इनकॉर्पोरेटेड होंगी. कैसे इनकॉर्पोरेटेड होंगी? इट इज थ्रू प्रोग्राम आउटकम्स. नाउ so outcome based framework can help design teaching, learning, and curriculum. Any program is a roadmap of what the participant expected to learn, gain from that program. Outcome based curriculum requires that intended learning outcomes of the program be defined, mode of assessment outcome be specified, and core stakeholder be aware of the techniques. Continuous improvement of student. So OBE model requires that the curriculum that we prepare should have a vision and mission, program as objectives, program outcomes, course outcomes, delivery, and assessment. These you will learn in other session, but this is what relevant is. So here it is, a design and implementation process. We start with vision and mission, then we have the program objectives, graduate attributes. They define program outcomes. They help us to define the course outcome, and so on. This encompasses the whole process of designing and achieving designing the curriculum and designing. So what we look at this just now, design of syllabus. As I mentioned, syllabus is one component. Extracurricular activity, co-curricular activity, any other thing which makes students learn. Let us look at the syllabus. Syllabus is very important. It's the central issue of any curriculum. How do I design a syllabus which enable me to achieve the program outcomes, hence satisfy the industry requirements or stakeholder requirements. We see that. Now here, group taxonomy plays a very important role. It is the central role. Now, do we prepare a syllabus using group taxonomy? It can be done at a certificate level, diploma level, BTech, MTech, or any other level, depending on what we want a student of that program to learn, the outcomes of the program. Now, learning will be specified into 3 domains according to Bloom taxonomy: cognitive domain, psychomotor domain, affective domain. So, knowledge, skills, attitude, and behavior. Please remember those 12 program outcomes which I mentioned earlier, they involve all the 3 components, all the 3 domains. So Bloom taxonomy, cognitive is the mental process of knowing and understanding. Remember, understanding, apply. I think you will look at detail in some other session. Affective, the experience of feeling or emotion. Ethical, team behavior, attitude, behavior. Psychomotor, the relationship between cognitive function and physical movement. Example, lab, work, presentation, how to use the critical skill. We want our students to acquire, develop these skills and competencies by implementing the curriculum designed for the program. So, course syllabus use the Bloom taxonomy, which indicates the hierarchical graded design of this syllabus. Now, see, it says before we can understand, we must remember it. Now, to apply, we must understand, and so on. These things play important role. Now, when I'm looking at the curriculum, I'm looking at the institution vision and mission. I'm looking at the department vision and mission. Department vision and mission give me what are the program outcomes, PO program outcomes, which lead me to program objectives, which leads me to course outcomes, and which leads me to the specification of what kind of courses I should have. And those courses are prepared according to Bloom taxonomy, because Bloom taxonomy helps us to prepare hierarchical structure of student learning. It may be cognitive learning, it may be effective learning, it may be now. Just give you a quick see our curriculum have projects. Now having projects so far, having projects is good thing. But so far our effort have been students are doing the projects. But have we ever applied our mind how projects to be made part of the curriculum wherein they serve as a learning, not as doing. So doing real life projects, 3 to 6 months need to be made part of the curriculum. The curriculum should have syllabus prepared according to curriculum, according to Bloom taxonomy, and project should be made part of the curriculum. Because project, dissertation, case study are means of research training and encouraging discovery approach to learning. They also serve as effective means of addressing concerns to promote skills and employability, motivating and empowering students, promoting links between teaching and research, talent spotting, understanding nature of complex problem, and so on. So the curriculum that you design should be should have projects. Now the point is very important thing. What are the learning outcome of the project? Now these learning outcome connected with the learning outcome which is specified as the program outcome. Projects are part of the dissertation, projects are part of the curriculum. And these projects are serving the purpose of achieving the program outcome which I mentioned earlier. Those program outcomes were derived from what the industry wants. So student will, we say, now how many teachers appreciate the learning outcome of project? Please see here, learning outcome. I'm not saying project doing project. It is the learning outcome of project. Student will demonstrate ability to apply domain knowledge, critical thinking, analysis, and problem solving skills, effective communication and dissemination of findings, formulate, evaluate, and apply evidence-based solutions and arguments, apply a systematic critical assessment of complex problems and issues, apply appropriate technique of analysis and inquiry, incentiveness and creativity in formulating, evaluating, and applying evidence-based solutions and arguments, effective problem management of time, resources, operation, and information, ethical, social, cultural, environmental, and professional conduct, take initiative, and succeed. Please see here. How much is the learning involved in the project PBI? What is the product-based learning? So the curriculum that we design should have projects, and those projects should be such. It should not focus on doing the project. It should focus on project learning. This is a part of implementation. This is a part of teaching, and then so salient teaching learning methodology, which should be part of the curriculum in modern thing, is traditional classroom is a lecture oriented. Then flipped classroom is a pedagogy approach in which the traditional elements of the lesson are taught by the teacher. Primary materials are studied by the students at home and then worked in the classroom. Cooperative learning and so on. Plus here, these are the learning methodology which have to be made part of the curriculum. So when you are using these teaching learning methodology, then you are strengthening your curriculum with a view to achieve what was there in the intended program outcome. That intended program outcome has enabled us to design a curriculum with the teaching, learning, and assessment method. As a TLA, this is what I discussed in the very beginning. This approach to teaching learning blends traditional lectures with portions of coursework that are computer based and typically delivered in an online mode. जैसे कि आप लोग आजकल काफी पॉपुलर हो रहा है, we are also doing online mode. BTR allows students to learn partly through traditional direct and interact with the instructor. Students can learn at their own pace through online units and so on. So salient method, problem-based teaching learning. Now please, we have started, in fact, using problem-based learning. Now problem-based learning student approach in which students learn about a topic, subject of solving open-ended real-life problems. Now this may be 2 weeks, 3 weeks, but it's not project normally 2 months or 3 months like that. Students are assigned a problem by the teacher with only preliminary information when they identify resources and work to find solution. Time frame is typically 8 to 10 days. They are not expected to design and produce a product of time. Now, salient methodology, project-based learning. I think project-based learning is an instructional approach in which students get an opportunity to develop knowledge, skills, and competence by engaging themselves. Real-life projects, which are generally 4 to 6 months. There is strong emphasis on student learning, understanding. Now, PBLA fosters lifelong learning and gaining newer skills. Please make project-based learning as a part of your curriculum. The reason is we want to implement lifelong learning. Now, if you look at the program outcome, maybe pharmacy, maybe management, maybe engineering, maybe law, lifelong learning is an integral part of that. And lifelong learning is an integral part because of changing technological scenario. So project-based learning, teaching learning approach, students expect to come up with working model approach. This will make the students autonomous. It will make the students independent. So project-based teaching and learning is subset of project-based teaching and learning. So try to include this in your curriculum as much as you can. So how do we choose an instructional method? Teacher needs to be able to recognize and understand what discipline knowledge is required to be gained and enhanced, what students already know and don't know, how to promote student engagement and autonomy, how thinking skills can be fostered among students, which digital tools are relevant and applicable, and so on. So project-based learning has strong potential to fully engage students digital age, changing student-teacher dynamics, giving students greater autonomy and supporting their learning, fostering 21st century skills, and we will discuss on fostering higher order thinking skill in another session. But project-based learning, where I'll elaborate more, you will find that the making it a part of the curriculum is an important thing. So project-based learning is an instructional mode, teaching method, in which students get an opportunity to develop knowledge and skills by engaging themselves in real-life problems which one come across or may face in the real world. Real life and real world problems are always multidisciplinary and complex, open-ended. Project-based learning is not just doing the project, but refer to learning acquired by doing the project and assessment. Some people refer to PBL as project-oriented teaching and learning. Please see here what I'm curriculum design. Curriculum design में project-based learning is an instructional method. तो इसलिए मैं आपसे ये शेयर कर रहा हूँ. Effective implementation of curriculum means help to realize POs to a maximum extent. So our curriculum was designed keeping in view what are the program outcomes. So effective implementation means I now go, if that was downward, now it's upward. These curriculum will help us to realize program outcome, and they will help us to foster higher thinking skills, creative and innovative thinking, by growth and entrepreneurial mindset, investigate complex problem, and so on. So effective implementation of curriculum leads to realization of vision and mission of the department. For example, curriculum elements, extracurricular activities, we have seminars, co-curricular activities. So outcomes of various elements, program learning outcomes, program leads to vision and mission. That's how the curriculum is enable us to achieve the vision and mission of the department at the institute. So effective implementation and assessment of curriculum imbibe higher order thinking skills in the classroom. See, a curriculum which does not help us to equip the students with those program outcomes which we have intended program outcome, it will not be considered a good curriculum. So in order to have effective curriculum, in order to implement it realistically, we need to emphasize higher order thinking skills. So teachers should understand these things. Teachers should be able to see what it involves, what kind of teaching it involves, what kind of assessment it involves. If the teacher has to be able to be aware of this, implement this in order to make the curriculum effective. So modern approach to curriculum is select course objectives with higher order thinking skills such as synthesis, evaluation, and creativity. Express the objectives as knowledge and attitude. The student should be able to demonstrate on successful completion of the course using measurable action works that everyone concerned well in advance. Curriculum needs to reflect and meet all local, state, national, global standards and concerns. Please see here the curriculum. Then it's only through the effective design, implementation, and development of outcome-based curriculum, we shall be able to know how far we have been able to improve the learning of our students and foster the culture of creativity, innovation, and entrepreneurship. So until unless we design our curriculum based on these intended program outcomes, we will not be able to come out with what industry or knowledgeable society wants it. So until you spread our wings, you will have no idea how far you can go. Our students are good, our teachers are good, they need to be given a good curriculum, good implementation, and so on. Thank you all.